Denver's housing shortage is leaving many victims of domestic violence and their families with nowhere to go. Good evening, I'm Jacqueline Allen.
And I'm Shannon Ogden. Nearly 17,000 reported domestic violence victims right here in Colorado. But because the high demand for shelter beds, those victims only get a few weeks to get back on their feet.
Denver 7's Tom Mustin spoke to one inspiring woman struggling to build a new life here in Colorado after escaping a dangerous situation.
It was either I die, my kids have nowhere to go, or we just leave.
Chanel Davis and her 4 children spent years living a nightmare.
I could smile, have a smile on my face because somebody said good morning. I smile and I get smacked.
Her now ex-boyfriend beat her on a daily basis. It came to a head last March when Chanel woke up to her bedroom door being kicked in and her boyfriend attacking her.
I was raped and he went to sleep. And when he was asleep, I grabbed my kids, jumped in the car, and just left.
Chanel and the kids traveled from Chicago to Colorado with no plans and no place to go. With only the clothes on their backs, Chanel and the kids slept in their car for a week before finding a shelter for abused women in Arvada. After 60 days in the safe house, they were told they had to leave.
It was difficult. 4 kids in a car and myself. It's like we have to drive from place to place to take showers and eat.
And sometimes finding housing that is safe and secure is out of our capacity.
Emma Martin with the Domestic Violence Service Center, the initiative, says families like Chanel's are often literally left out in the cold. And here's why. There are 11 safe houses in the Denver metro area. All have long waiting lists. Guests can stay from 2 weeks to 60 days. After that, they're on their own.
Other people are trying to get in, so they have to tell you to go because you can't stay longer than what you're supposed to.
Chanel refused to quit. After another week in the car, she found a job at a child development center in this apartment in Wheat Ridge.
Mama.
The family Christmas tree doesn't have presents underneath it, but something much more important.
My gift to my kids is making sure my kids have a roof over their head, they have stability, they have warmth, they food.
And now surrounded by 4 loving children, Chanel has a message for fellow victims of domestic violence.
Just keep going, don't give up, don't quit.
Now, that was Tom Mustin reporting. If you or anyone you know is dealing with domestic violence, the Domestic Violence Hotline can help. That number is here on your screen, 1-800-799-SAFE.